चैतन्य शाश्वत शान्तः व्योमातीतो निरञ्जनः बिन्दुनादकलातीतः तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ज्ञानशक्तिसमारूढः तत्त्वमालाविभूषितः मुक्तिमुक्तिप्रदाता च तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्मसम्प्राप्त कर्मबन्धविदाने आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। शोषणं भवसिन्धोश्च ज्ञापनं सारसम्पदः गुरोः पादोदकं सम्यक् तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानात् परं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मन्नाथ श्रीजगन्नाथः मद्गुरुः श्रीजगद्गुरुः मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुराविरनादिश्च गुरुः परमदैवतं गुरोः परतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव।
Namaste all of you. So good. After, I cannot say long break, good break, okay? As usual, I don't know exactly which verse we are in. Are we in 11th chapter or 12th chapter? Which chapter first? Somebody can help?
12th chapter, I think verse 7 we have covered.
12th chapter, verse number 7. Okay, so that means I am in a wrong place itself. So I am still in just 1 minute. Okay. Verse number 7 we have covered already. Eh? Okay. No problem.
Recording in progress.
Om Sadashiva-Samarambham Shankaracharya-Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru-Paramparam Gurur-Brahma Gurur-Vishnu Gurur-Devo Maheswarah Guru-Sakshat Param-Brahma Tasmai Shri-Gurave Namah. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahi तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहि। ओम शांति शांति शांति। As we have been discussing, that Ashtavakra Gita, the teacher Ashtavakra and Rishi or Rajarshi Janaka happens to be the student. So in this chapter 12th, Rishi Janaka continuing, and most important thing was that called Tasmat Evam Aham Eva Astitah iti. Aham Evam Eva Astitah, that was continuing. In fact, if we remember previous few verses when we were looking at that verse number 6 very carefully highlighted that actually the karma is always related to ignorance. Whether I perform or do not perform, whether I engage or I don't engage, both are in the realm of ignorance or vidya. That's why highlighted very carefully that because I am performing, I don't have to feel that great, nor I have given up, I don't do anything, I have to feel proud of it either. Because it has something to do with understanding and abiding with the understanding. While discussing this, that when there is no pressure, that what we call as no push nor pull, neither push nor pull, then only I keep functioning, and we give the example of the fan. So when the fan is rotating, and after switching off, still the fan keeps rotating, and that rotation will continue, depends upon many factors. And if external wind keeps coming, even though it is switched off, it may continue for long. That fan keeps rotating has nothing to do with the current, because already it has been switched off. So also jnana and karma. So the life of a jnani is like switched off, and the prarabdha makes it to move. Not you move, okay? Not you make move. Rather you move, you make move. And stating that it is prarabdha. No, not necessarily at all. Then after some time we'll say prarabdha, holding your head, okay? There are two types, two ways of saying prarabdha. One is, after all, it's my prarabdha. You know, your shoulder, you shrug and nicely. That means proud. Prarabdha. However, both are not required. So that's why here it says verse number 7, that little bit we can retouch. Achintya chintyamanopi chintarupam bhajatyasho tyaktva tadbhavanam tasmat evamevahamastitah aham evam eva astitah. So that means I abide in this manner, and before that it says tasmat. And what tasmat? Tad bhavanam tyaktva. So tyaktva means what? Having given up. So there is some type of activities, mental activities, and related to what? Tadabhavanam. So that contemplation. Now when he says that contemplation, so what is that contemplation? We need to look at. He says, look, when he says tad bhavanam, we very carefully use, that's what he himself has highlighted before, achintyam achintyam api chintyamana asau chintarupa bhajati. Actually, who is me? The self that is achintyam, unthinkable. Why it is unthinkable? Because yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Or you can say, because it is vikalpa rahita. And because it is vikalpa rahita, that's why there's no need, you cannot. Also we use this word. You can think of that object, that thing, that which is available in the sphere of sense organs. If something is not reachable, not available for the sense organs, will you be able to think of? It is not possible at all. And interestingly, this is something what? That this is the mind of mind, and in whose presence not only sense organs including mind functions. That's why we use this word what? Vikalpa rahitah iti. Then not only that, he uses this word nahi niravayavasya brahmana dhyanam sambhavati. You can do meditation, you can do contemplation upon something that is limited in nature. That's why in meditation, in contemplation, we dwell upon different type of thoughts. Again, thought is in the realm of limitation. Not that we should not meditate, not that we should not contemplate, because it is exactly like, remember, when there is a thorn, you need another thorn or needle to remove that thorn. So to deal with my mind, I need meditation, I need contemplation. Moreover, achintyamanaha api chintyamanaha asau chintarupam bhajati. Even though I am the one who is unthinkable, the self, and when now made an object of thought, now becomes reduced to a mental construction. Now that is to be given up. And when that is being given up, that gets dropped, then I am with myself. I abide in the self. Continue. Evam eva krutam ena sakrutartho bhavedaso. Evam eva svabhoyaha sakutartho bhaved aso. Just to place with little bit words. Ena evam eva krutam sasau udartha bhavet. य एवं एव स्वभाव ससो कृतार्थ भवेत्. If we observe our life, everybody wants to be Krutartha. So that means what? Krutaha Arthaha. So one whose purpose is fulfilled. When you do something, you are happy, you are satisfied when you arrive at your purpose. My purpose of doing this was fulfilled. Imagine you go for food, but you are not satisfied. Hunger continues, in fact increases. What will happen? What will say? But the moment you eat food, so you need some other thing to digest, okay? All these things you do. Then what do you say? Truptoham. At least that moment, okay? Aham truptaha iti. So I am satisfied, which is good. So that means the purpose of eating is addressed. Same thing also, purpose of living must be addressed. So what is my purpose of living or purpose of my life? Nothing but to be satisfied, to understand I am satisfaction itself. So that's why we say Krutarthosmi, aham Krutartha iti. So that means whenever I feel I am satisfied, everything is satisfied. And remember, interestingly, satisfaction has nothing to do with the object, people or situation. It is your mental projection. Have you not observed, especially when you go to restaurant, you become happy in the beginning days in the restaurant based on the name and fame, based on the bill. Okay, not when you don't pay, okay, when somebody pays. And of course, if you pay, even in the best food, seeing the bill, you know, you will cry. Or while people are ordering, you keep counting, you don't count the food, you count the... Here, sometimes you may get the best food in a place, but the build-up is not there. The vacuum you have not created in your mind. Will you be happy? Will you be satisfied with reference to that food? Observe a child. So child creates a lot of vacuum, and the moment the vacuum is being addressed, fulfilled, person becomes satisfied. Same thing also, if we observe, all our satisfaction not related to object, people or situation, but it is related to me, myself. If it is related to a person, if it is related to an object or situation, now imagine if you are with that object, with that person or with that situation all the time, will you be satisfied? In fact, you will get suffocated. But if you are satisfied with it, yes, nothing wrong in it. So that's why here he highlights very carefully, evam eva krutam iti. Yena evam eva krutam. So by whom? What does happen? So one who acts, krutam, does, evam eva, exactly in this manner. So what is this exactly in this manner? What does it mean? So it says very carefully that as we have been discussed, evam eva means iti uktva पूर्वोक्तानां सर्व उपदेशानां हेय उपादेय विरह विकल्प निवृत्ति चिंत्यातीत तत्वबोध कर्तृत्व अभिमान नाश एतेषां यथार्थ अनुष्ठानं सूच्यते. It's a long list. So in short, the way I have been here at least listening to here at least whatever upadesh I have got, or the way I function, or in short you can say one who acts in the alignment of the truth. But it is very easy to say, I am aligned with the truth. What truth? Is your truth, or partial truth, or the truth? You understand? There are three types of truth. You have to, cook stories. Okay, this is to cooking stories, nothing else. Don't worry. Okay. So you have to understand what sort of truth. Sometimes your truth becomes truth or not. That is your version. That is not truth. Because no, it's my truth. How is it your truth? It is your version. So your version also is called truth. So instead of your truth, instead of truth, I call as your truth. And second one is called partial truth. That also you call as truth. So partial truth, we all are acquainted with. In a given situation, something appears to be truth. Need not be. Like when you are thirsty, the mirrors is visible as the bed of water. It is truth. I see, you see, everybody sees. It's not only I see, it's not my fancy, it's not my truth. It's not my vision, everybody's vision. In fact, I see next to me who is there, also the person sees. So that is called partial truth, because after some time, as we keep moving towards that mirage, we discover there is no mirror, there is no water bed. So that is called partial truth. Other one is called truth. That trikale api tishtati, that which exists in three periods of time. It was, it is, and will be. So that is what he is highlighting here. That alignment with the truth. As I function, that's why if you observe with reference to all the gods and goddesses, especially if you see any Puranas, if you read any Puranas, you will discover Lord Vishnu, very clever, he doesn't appear so quickly, because nobody also, worships too much him. Everybody goes mainly for Lord Shiva, and then after that Brahma. This is what Purana, okay? All these demons. And what happens? Not that Lord Shiva does not know, but Lord Shiva has to appear. Because that is in keeping with truth. He cannot. He is part of the order. So being part of the order, he has to appear, he has to place, he has to give boon, and sometimes the same boon becomes, like Bhasmasura bounces back. So here he highlights this aspect, that look, that whatever upadeshas we have, now in the form of heya and upadaya, there are something to be given and something to be receiving. You receive, you give. Giving up and receiving. Acceptance, rejection. And in the process, physically and mentally, also you start, accepting, rejecting. And related to that, you keep functioning, and in the process, you start developing your abhimana. So ahankara is a very raw form. When this ahankara gets converted into abhimana, it is very sophisticated. Very difficult to catch. I hope you get my point. So ahankara is ego, the raw form. And same ahankara gets associated with your body-mind complex, your situation, your action, your duty. You understand? Oh, it's my duty. I need to do this, I need to do that. What does it mean? So that is abhiman. And it's very difficult to catch abhiman, remember? And even if you know sometimes it is abhimanam, it's not that easy to address that abhimanam clearly or carefully. So that's why here also one need to be very careful with reference to that. Here I need to work what? Now this kartutva abhimana nasa to be done. So in abhimana there is sense of doing. Why I do? Because there is bhaktrutva abhimana. There is sense of enjoyership in me. If there is no sense of enjoyership, I don't think that there will be kartutva abhimanam either. So that's why this is to be done as it is supposed to be done. I do because it is to be done. Because we'll be seeing as we see furthermore on this aspect. Now that time I becomes krutartha. In short, I don't take credit for anything I have done, nor I take discredit anything that has happened also done by me. And when this happens, now he says, look, very nicely, krutartha. Then second one he says, saha krutartha bhavet asau iti, saha asau krutartha bhavet. Yah evam eva swabhava. Also one need to understand that the very nature itself is what? Nitya Suddha Buddha. And when Swabhava, when we talk, we have seen in different context, you can say, oh, this is my Swabhava. Colloquially, in every language we say, oh, this is my nature. In fact, this is me. When you say, this is me, is it created me or is it you? Please understand this concept. Is it you as you or created? Most of the time, that created me is considered as me, as my nature. Actually, it is not your Swabhava nature, it is your personality. And we always confuse between personality and nature. And that's why here he says, so now I am someone that Suddha Nitya Buddha Muktaha, and me being a man of understanding, aham na kartaha, na bhuktaha, not even if tyakta. I am neither a doer nor an enjoyer, not I have renounced, given up, keep giving. But sometimes what happens, when I keep giving, there is a thought, oh, I am giving up. I am the giver. That is the worst. He says, look, kevalaha swabhavata siddhaha. In short, when I am abiding in this aspect, I do not look for any phala prapti. I don't look for gaining anything in my life. That is what Swabhava of me, Swata Siddha. And that time I am a Krutartha. And what we call as Akhanda Paripurnata. Yes, once in a while we feel Krutartha, we feel blessed, we feel we have achieved, we are satisfied, but that is Khanda. After some time, that goes away. I don't need Khanda Purnata, Purnabhava. Here it says Akhanda Paripurnata. And that is what is my nature. So that means what? Remember, he wants to highlight moksha is not karma phala. Because yat krutam tat nashyam iti. So whatever is done, definitely that will be destroyed. That's why the result of any action in Sanskrit called phalam. And what is phalam in Indian language? Phalam is called fruit. Phalgutaya liyate, which is subject to get rotten. The fruits are nothing but subject to get rotten. Just leave them for some time. So also karma phalam. Can you see how it is very careful? So karma is karma phalam, sometimes we use, that is subject to be destroyed. So when it is subject to be destroyed or subject to destruction, that means what? It is not me, it is not moksha either. Because moksha cannot be karma phala. It has to be swata siddha. It has to be self-established. It is. And when I understand that, then what happens? By kartutva bhavena, with the with the sense of doership, and which pushes me to do many things, I will not beget moksha either. But here only jnanamiti, yah swabhava. That's what he says. Yah swabhava saheva moksha. Actually, moksha is my nature. What I need to do? I need to understand and abide with it. With this, I'll stop. Please understand. Many times, or you can say most of the time, we understand. But we don't abide with our understanding. Especially if you observe a child, after doing bad in the school, comes back because proper scolding will come in home. So man of realization, the child says, look, I did mistake. Next time you'll see, I will not do mistake at all. I will not do mistake at all. Then what happens to next time? Again, same thing repeats in different language. Means the person understands, but not able to stick to it, not able to avoid. We all understand, but not able to avoid. And full teaching is abiding with it. More I am committed to the understanding, more I enjoy my life, or you can say, easier for me to accept that I am Krutartha iti. We'll see. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shant Shant Shanti. Thank you all of you.
Recording stopped.